Hi West Island, we are here today with Janie Duquette. She is a promoter, author, and in my opinion, the new version of a feminist. So I welcome you here today. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for inviting me.
And you've got so many things going on, and I want to touch base on, first I saw your TED Talk this morning. I checked it out for myself, and wow, you did very well on that. And how does it feel to be up on stage talking to hundreds of women in Montreal after having grown up in Montreal and working the way you have?
I'm someone who visualizes a lot, and when I took a break from, I was an entertainment executive. Yes, I ran a record label, I produced artists, toured Quebec with them.
Okay, wait, before you go, who have you met that's really cool?
Oh, tons of people, but I was working with Quebec artists like Corneille, like La Chicane, Danny Bédard.
Okay.
I've met John Jett, for example. John Jett, yeah. I've met Lemmy.
Okay.
I mean, with Donald O'Donnell, I used to work with Donald O'Donnell, if you remember Donald.
Yes, it shows our age, but yes, I do remember.
Yes, well, Evenco is actually a company that was bought from Donald.
Okay.
You know, eventually it grew and now it's Evenco. But I used to work with Donald, and with Donald we've met a lot of people. I was at Woodstock 99, if people remember Woodstock, the one that ended really bad, but I was there, and I remember we were walking, because we had a band there, we were walking in the middle of all the trailers, and it was like Metallica, Alanis Morissette, Linkin Park, and Donald told me, he said, "Kid, get your jaw off the floor." Because it was big, you know, it was huge, but you get used to it. I mean, I had just started working with Donald in 1999. So why am I doing what I'm doing?
What are you doing? First of all, tell my readers, what are you doing?
How did I get to do a TED Talk? I was named president of Donald O'Donnell company of label at 28 years old.
Do you mind if we know how?
I was a lawyer. Oh, I'm 46.
Okay.
And so I was a lawyer in a big firm. He called one day. He had a problem with a band called La Chicane. Figured. And
that means fighting in English.
In English, yeah. So he called me up and he said, "Can you help me out? I want to get this band, you know, to be signed on our record label." And we solved the problem that he had at the time, and we closed the deal in a month. So us working together worked well. So he offered me after that to become president of the company. So I always dreamt of show business. I was very passionate about it. I had read tons of biographies, and even though I was in law school, I kept reading about show business. So when that offer came, I just at 28 years old, you know, I wanted to work in show business, but I never thought.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes at that age.
But I never thought I would start out as a CEO, you know, and that was, as naive as I was, I said yes, you know, with a lot of enthusiasm. What do you think happened? A few moments later, you know, I got in. No, but I got in, you know, with this huge, lots of staff, in a man's world.
Yeah.
This little 28 years old blondie is going to be the boss, and it's going to put discipline in there. So what do you think happened? It was hard. It was a hard challenge for me, you know. And after 15 years, because not only was it hard, but I stayed, and I was able to navigate, and we thrived. And eventually the company I ran thrived because we had 4 multi-platinum selling artists, including Jonas. I forgot to mention Jonas.
You know, come out as the interview goes long.
Yeah, exactly.
I know who she met.
So, I was Jonas' manager and we produced his first 3 records. Mm-hmm. So after 15 years of doing that as a woman, somebody said to me, you know, how is it to run a company? I said, well, I kept saying it's different as a woman, because everything that I encountered, a lot of things that I encountered, I couldn't speak about this with Donald, even though he was a great mentor. He was very generous with all his knowledge and everything. But the managing part, the leadership part, I could not follow the examples I had before because they were all men.
Because as you say in your TED Talk, it's a man's world, but we have to redefine it and treat it as coming in from a woman's perspective.
Exactly, and the reason why I said yes when somebody suggested to me, you should write a book about feminine leadership, because I kept saying it's different.
It is completely different.
It's very different when you're a woman. And because I was tired of hearing, oh, it's so hard for women, it's so hard, the glass ceiling, it's very hard, you know, yes, we still have a lot of problems. We cannot put our heads in the sand and say there are no double standards and everything, but we don't have control
No,
over
we
that.
just passed April 11th was the day for equal pay. Equal pay, we're still not paid equally.
Exactly.
Canada, so.
There's still a lot of things to achieve. But in the meantime, what I realized quite early in my journey as the boss of an entertainment company, there were advantage in being a woman. And if you learn how to use them, and if you realize that the feminine leadership, our vision as women, is innovation, because we still live in a world that was built and constructed by men. So anything we come up with, we want to accomplish, we want to do, is new. So it's great to be a woman today.
True.
Because
Very
women
true.
have space now, because of the pioneers that opened doors for us, and I thank God they existed. And they did what they did. But I think now that we have space, we have to think about, how do we occupy that space? How am I going to be a leader in that space? Should I copy the models that I had before? Or should I decide to do things as I am?
I think one of the messages that you said in your talk was that women should try and be women, as opposed to trying to mimic men. Be women, lead as women, lead the way women lead, with different emotions in play.
And we still don't know what that is. That model, we still don't know what that is, because it's still being defined.
That's true.
And if you think about it, the role models that we have right now, the women that have had a lot of...
Success?
First of all, we don't have a lot of models. And the ones they show us, the ones we see in the media, are women that have adopted men
Characteristics.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and also, they say, oh, the first woman astronaut, the first woman that are doing men's job. Yes, all these traits are important, but a woman that loves, a woman that raises good kids, is changing the world every day. All those feminine traits that run our household, that care about the people. We know that now that love is as much important as money.
I believe that if we had an equal balance in government, for example, if we had an equal balance between men and women, it would be a much smoother ride. I think we need the right people. I don't think women should be gifted these jobs, but I do think a qualified woman would balance out the emotions and the way we address things in government and in business.
Yes, because in nature, there's feminine and masculine.
That's right.
Everything is working together, and everything works. It's
harmoniously.
It's harmonious. So we need to use our strength, men and women, together.
Where can we get your
fit.
book? Where can we get this
Everywhere.
Is it in English and French?
It is in French, but I'm currently writing The Real Power of Superwoman, which is the name of my TED Talk, in English. I'm almost done. I'm telling you because I need a deadline.
Okay, we're going to give her a deadline. We want this by fall. We want to have it in my hands. We'll do another interview in the fall.
Oh, that's great.
Does that
That's
work?
great. And
Okay.
Les 7 Clés du Leadership Féminin is available in French in all the good libraries.
Les 7 clés du leadership des femmes.
Les 7 clés du leadership féminin, dirigées avec la tête et le cœur.
Okay, we need to combine the two.
Yeah, that's the name of the book. So it's available everywhere.
You're doing a tour currently
Yes.
around Quebec.
Yes, I'm on a mandate by FEMESAR. FEMESAR,
FEMESAR.
if you don't know it, there is a FEMESAR. It's a government organism that has been allowed $19 million in order to help women-owned enterprise.
Okay.
So they want to fuel
Women-run businesses.
Women-run businesses, because we need more women and we need to help women, get into the business world.
As the men have been helped as well.
Exactly. So these funds are available. They want to get it known. So I'm doing a tour of my conference.
You've done 15 spots already.
I'm still doing the tour right now. I have another 15 dates. I'm going to be in Montreal and on the 25th
of
April
April
25th, TD Bank, FEMESAR. You can find out on the website.
Which website? FEMESAR?
On the FEMESAR website, and I will post it on my Facebook, Janie Duquette. Come and like my page.
We'll put it on the
Janie
website
Duquette.
blog. We'll attach it to this post.
Exactly. So I'm doing a tour of my conference on feminine leadership.
FEMESAR, for those of you who didn't know, I didn't know what this word meant when we were starting out this interview. FEMESAR means a springboard, women springboard action. So that's what that word means. So that's what this government-funded program is about funding women and springing them forward.
Exactly.
In an entrepreneurial
It's also
way.
a network because there are 17 different femmes all through Quebec. So if you have a product that you want to get known more locally,
It's a place
but
to
then
join.
It's a place to join because it's a good
Even
network.
If you do not get the funding, can you just join as an entrepreneur that group as well, or do you
Yes,
have to?
because they are developing right now. There's a lot of new initiative coming with FAMESA closely, but there's also other initiatives that are combining efforts. For example, le Réseau des femmes d'affaires du Québec has joined forces with FAMESA in order to also, because what's necessary today is women solidarity.
Absolutely.
We need to work together. We need to reconnect with our real nature. I think it's
that do well,
collaborative.
yes, and the communities that do well together and enjoy each other and the support of each other, and a women's community, your local community, whatever, when they join forces together, the power is exponential.
Exactly.
And the success is exponential.
Exponential, exactly. So now with those two networks that have joined forces, you have a whole group and team of women that are supporting each other, that are supporting each other's business. That's what we need to if we want to thrive.
Right. And you should buy from everybody within everybody, because that's what networking is about. And it does move your neighbors forward.
Yeah, buying local.
Yes. I'm a firm believer in buying local.
Buying local, conscious consuming too. We need to encourage companies that share our values. The companies are more and more developing their personality. For example, I have a sponsor. Who helps me tour, because it takes a lot of my time, and I still need to eat and pay my rent.
Do you really need to eat? Come on.
Yeah.
Do it for free.
So I have a sponsor, and you know how it happened? She called me. She called me up, she said, I read your book. I love what you're talking about. I love that you talk about feminine leadership, the fact that we need to be together. I love your message. We want to help you spread the message. So what can we do? We represent a brand. I'll say it what it is. It's a Quebec company. They have women in high position. It's called Sortilège.
Okay.
And it's a fine drink.
Okay.
It's kind of like Bailey's.
Okay.
But it's made here with sirop d'érable. It's amazing. Anyway, so they're
it's an
helping me
artisanal
out.
type drink.
So they're helping me spread the word because feminine leadership is part of their value as a company.
Okay. Yes,
So
I believe. I always take sponsors that have the same philosophy as me. I think it's core to what we're doing.
Exactly. So I encourage companies and to develop this personality, because more and more, what power women already have right now? The power to choose what we consume, because women control 90%
of the buying power.
The buying power.
Yes.
We have the buying power, so we can choose. Buying something is voting for something.
That's right.
So we can choose a company we believe in. We have so much choice, So if I have to choose, for example, a razor, I'm going to choose from a company that Canadian made, that shares in the community, that has women on the board. I am becoming more and more
conscious of your purchases. Yes.
And I'm not alone. A lot of women are. So I think companies should start thinking about their personality or what they believe in. And we're going to support them.
For example, I'm sponsored by Kiva Boutique in Point Claire Village, and they carry local brands, yoga jeans that has a philosophy of working in Quebec. They buy from Quebec, made in Quebec. So I shop at Kiva for that reason. So they sponsor me, and I accept their sponsorship based on that as well.
Because we want to encourage the families around us.
Yes.
We want to encourage family-owned businesses. So it's important to us, yes. So women have a lot of power right now. We just have, we keep being told, we still have to get there and get there. We already have a lot. What do we do with what we have?
Yes.
And it's time to make those decisions and base these decisions on our heart, our value, and what we are as women. We're different than men, no better, no worse. We just are different. We have to exploit this difference.
Yes, work on
to
the differences.
make a difference.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to be able to check in with you. Your website is called
Alma Mater, like an alma mater, but terre.
There's a play on words here?
Yes, it's play on words. And I'm on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook. Come and see me there. I'm very active. I respond to all the messages. Instagram too.
She'll be posted on West Island Blog, so we will
yes,
be together
I
there.
will. And I will present what you're doing, because I think you're helping your community. It's a very good service. And helping the community, helping them to connect.
That's right.
That's one people are always asking me, what do you think about how do we work and have a family at the same time? I respond that there's a lot of solutions in the community.
Yes.
We should start doing things together. We
The
don't have to
resources
do
are there for us to have.
everything
it's
alone.
very much so. And
So
we don't have to be alone.
We don't have to be
And
alone.
we're proof of that.
Exactly.
So there we are. All right, so I'm hoping to see you on April 25th
Yes.
at your event at TD Bank. In the morning, it's a breakfast.
Yes.
And we will see you on the tour. And when you get that book, you have a date with me in September. I
In
believe.
September. Okay, so now I have a deadline. Thank you, Rhonda.
I have one more question, and that's my signature question is, what was your last act of kindness? And it wasn't wiping the kids' nose this morning before they left for school, but
What was my last act of kindness? I saw you that day. I gave a conference in
Yes, very
Pierrefonds,
much, yes.
and it was a lot. There was a lot of community organism
Yes.
there helping out women that are in needs.
Yes.
You know, and I do conferences, and after conferences, I sit there with my books, and some people come and buy my book. I would love to give it to everybody, but
again, you have to eat.
again. So, but that made me come up with an idea, and I saw this woman that really wanted more, because I have something special for women of different community.
Okay, diversity.
Because I think they have a double standard.
Yes, the extra.
The extra double standard. So I understand, why it's especially hard for them. So I was really touched. And I just stood up and I gave books to a few of them because I wish now I'm gonna find a sponsor to help me give books to all the women
So
that
she
want
needs a sponsor
book,
for
a book.
books.
So that's what I did.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Bye, West Island. See you soon, and we'll be talking with you in the fall. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Bye.